But then it also makes it seem like you're doing it for views or clicks.
I did match for clicks when I was young, and clicks wasn't even a thing yet. You know what I'm saying?
It's camera clicks.
Yeah, camera clicks. I'm like, somebody gonna get this shit disposable, baby.
They gotta rewind it afterwards.
Watch when they see this shit when they pick it up from Dwayne Reed.
Perfect Talkers. It's your guy DJ Playboy back with a new episode of the Perfect Talk podcast. And hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's chat about it, man. On this episode, we got to talk about the Titan submersible. The whole world was captivated looking for this thing for a couple days. How did that pan out? Also, we got to talk about Hunter Biden. Got himself in some legal trouble, but he was able to plea his way out. You know how that go. Also, Roe v. Wade 1 year later. Has the world changed at all, or are we still on the same old? Your guy Messi's coming to the MLS. We got a lot of NBA trades to talk about, and also we got to talk about everybody wilding out at graduation. What is going on, people? Is that and much, much more. Perfect Talk podcast, baby.
What's good, Josh? Your guy DJ Playboy back with another episode of the Perfect Talk podcast, and I'm in the building with my guy, my partner, my dog.
Scream like I'm Keith.
What's going on, brethren?
What it is, man? How you feeling?
Welcome back, Mr. Qatar, man. Man, life's good, man. Happy belated Father's Day. You know what I mean? Happy belated Juneteenth. Happy belated all that. You know what I mean?
Likewise, man. Funny you mentioned happy belated Juneteenth. One time a coworker asked me, "Do you say happy Juneteenth?" And I heard a debate about should you say happy Memorial Day. So when you said that, it made me think of that shit.
Now, Juneteenth is a weird holiday. I think it's got to be really weird for white people because I was noticing nobody really wanted to say Happy Juneteenth. It's like the dude I was listening to the dude on the radio. He was like, "Yeah, it's like it's Monday. Some people are at work. Some people aren't." Like, you ain't got to tiptoe around it.
He just stating facts. Like, it's Monday, federal holiday, maybe a state holiday, depends on your state. Some kids are in school, a lot of them are out. Weather is nice. My
girl was like, "Well, how would you feel if a white person, just was like you was online and the cashier was just like Happy Juneteenth?" And I was just like, You know what I mean? Like if you were saying it to everybody, then it's cool. But if it's like, have a great day, have a good afternoon, Happy Juneteenth.
to you alone. It's like that joint with Key and Peele and Obama, and he was dapping up all the black people, but then with the white people, he's just doing a straight up handshake. So it's probably like that, just that like feeling of like what just happened?
Yeah, exactly.
But I think the strange thing about it is that until it becomes more normal, everyone's gonna be weird about how they treat it. I saw a post of a lady on Instagram, and she was attractive. She was wearing her nice stuff, and it was this fishnet summer dress. And she said Happy Juneteenth, y'all, and it was like colored with like I think it was like red, yellow, and green, whatever the other color is. I think green. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know how to feel about this, man. It's like Martin Luther. It's like MLK Day, used car sales, like shit like that. Like, or putting MLK's face on a McRib, like
she capitalizing. She's capitalizing over it. Same thing Target and Walmart and everybody doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess isn't it kind of the dream? You get a holiday where people say, you know what, this holiday is major enough for me to capitalize on.
I was happy about Juneteenth until I realized my daughter didn't have to go to school that day. And I'm like, yo, they got us, bro.
Damn, bro. You're like, damn, I regret Juneteenth, man.
I rebuke this holiday.
Yeah, man. I think and then being Northerners, man, we're from the Northeast. So I mean, I don't know about you, man, but I don't have like until now when they brought more awareness around the holiday, I never had that connection with
Juneteenth. Yeah. Funny enough, I never knew about it till I moved up here to where I'm at. That was the first time I ever heard about it, like years ago. Yeah. And to see it where it's at now is insane. But yeah, man, happy Juneteenth, happy belated Father. How's your Father's Day? Father's Day was cool?
Yeah, Father's Day was cool, man. Just chill, kicked in. What did I do that day? I think I probably went to the park with the youngin. With kids, when they, I don't know what age, because I'm not there yet, but I don't know what age they realize that certain days are different. But to them, like every day is the same. So it's like, all right, we're gonna grind today, like, you know what I'm saying? So you don't give a shit, man. Sunday, Saturday, let's go. What we gonna do? What we gonna do? Probably running. Shit.
Nah, it's dope, man. I haven't spoken to you on here in a while, but I don't know. I spoke to you off air and told you I did a 5K.
Congrats, brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was your first?
First 5K, you know what I mean? It's the third time I'm bringing it up on this show. The audience probably tired of me talking about it, but I'm proud, man. I'm riding this out for the month.
Well, that's a big deal, bro. I know some marathon runners out there is probably like, man, this nigga, bitch ass motherfucker. little old 5K. But that first 5K, bro, it's a big deal because it's hard. It's hard, man. It is hard, I did mine, my first one, probably my early 30s, something like that. And it was tough, man. So I can only imagine if I was to try one now.
Yeah,
after not training.
When's the last time you ran one? Right after your marathon.
Before but I think after the marathon was my last like race. Like that was 7 years ago.
Yeah, now it flies. Yo, bro. I got the bug now. I was telling everybody though. I want to do another one.
So I'll start, man. I did the one and then yeah.
And it's funny, a dude that I know that he was doing 5Ks a couple years ago. He's training for a marathon now. So you know what I mean? Yeah, no, it's contagious. But yeah, we're getting older. You know, I turned 39. You want to find little things little ways to prove your athleticism, one, and then little ways to stay in shape that's not as taxing on the body and the mind. So
yeah, man. I told you about when I played basketball on my birthday, man. It was, it wasn't even a matter of I needed to prove that I could win a game. It was more so like, all right, can I dribble, shoot the ball, and play defense a couple times? But after 1 point, man, one possession, I was like, come on, bro. Because if you don't play regularly, your brain is still stuck on the last time you were playing. So in my brain, I was like, all right, nigga, hit him, bop him twice with the crossover, spin on him, and then just fade away on this nigga. And then what came out was like, bop, bop, and then I just flung it at the backboard. So it was sad.
You were doing intramural sports a couple years ago, right?
Nah, a couple, man. Time flies, like you said. That shit was probably before the marathon.
Really? You didn't? Oh, no, you never did anything in Jersey?
I did in Jersey. When I was living in Jersey, nah.
You never did? Maybe I'm tripping, or maybe yeah. I remember you was joining the gyms, maybe that's why, or jiu-jitsu. I remember you doing that.
I did MMA. I'm not MMA. Muay Thai.
Okay.
And that's when I told the last time I went, he made me spar with a dude. The dude took it serious. My man put a mouthpiece in, and we were just like. We just learning skills. It was because when you take, I don't know if you ever took like any combat sport, like a beginner's class. They
not as an adult.
So they just like, all right, you hook and then just pull it back. And you might do it at a bag, or they might put a person in front of you just so you could get a gauge of where a head is in relation to a torso.
Yeah.
So then, all right, but you don't make no contact. Or if you make contact, it might be super soft, or we might grapple a little bit. So he said, all right, I'm gonna match you up with this dude. The dude put it in a mouthpiece, and then we were practicing front kicks. And the dude just made contact with my solar plex, bro. It was like, I don't know, it's like that, it's like some old spot they do, like if you get CPR or something right there, like right. And I'm like, yo, man, I'm like, yeah, I'm paying $150 a month. Get kicked in the chest, man. Say right. But I'd like to try it again though. It looks like martial arts, combat sports is a cool old dude sport, especially like mixed martial arts, Muay Thai, jiu-jitsu type shit. Like it's cool for old dudes.
Use your opponent's weight against them and shit like that.
Yeah, like a lot of smarts to it. It's not a lot of like wear and tear type shit, unless somebody, it's not wear and tear, it's just straight up if something tears, like somebody tears it just right quick. It's like, all right, man, just go get a surgery, fix this back up. I'll be back at y'all in 3 months.
Keith like, yo, where y'all handing out mouthpieces at? Where did my man get a mouthpiece from?
He slipped in a mouthpiece, man. That shit was crazy, son. It's like when you used to play pickup and the dude come in with the arm sleeve and motherfucking the compression socks that, the shits that can put the compression right on the plantar fascia and all that type of shit. Like, yo, bro, I'm just trying to get some cardio and this dude is competing for real, telling niggas to do back cut, my nigga, baseline. I'm like, yo, man, that's what it felt, man. That mouthpiece, I was like, maybe he's just doing a thing. Maybe he just got some crowns or something. But nah, man, my man wasn't in there to play, bro.
Yo, Keith, we got to move on to my favorite segment, man. Not my favorite, but it's actually one of the newer ones, man. It's called Quick Spotlight Story. But the reason I do like this segment is because it's not the biggest story, but definitely something I want to shine a little attention to. And this subject this week is graduations. I done seen some viral videos of some graduation footage that had me a little disturbed, you know what I mean? And let's see if I can pull it up for you right here. Hold on one second. Let me share the screen.
Doing some screen sharing, getting real corporate on them.
You know what I mean?
Was denied from the 17-year-old who we see in this video do the Griddy dance as she walks across the stage to receive her diploma from the principal.
What did she say to you? I mean,
she was like, "You're not getting your diploma because you made the crowd chuckle." It was like she was going to give it to me, then she took it right back. It was just embarrassing. She didn't have to do that.
This all happened last Friday.
Basically, yeah, they didn't give her diploma, right? Because they told the kids they can't do anything that's gonna like their families in the crowd aren't allowed to cheer for them. Like you've been to graduations, like, and you know, there's people that just go crazy when their kid's name is called.
The best part about it, man.
Yeah, that's why everybody shows up. So then, so she told her family, nah, you can't do that, right? But decided that she was gonna do a little Griddy, and even like hit them with the little like reminder while she was standing on the line to go there, right?
Yeah.
So long story short, she does a little Griddy, gets to the end of the stage, and the principal that was giving out the diplomas was like, nah, you done messed it up for yourself.
That's crazy.
That's nutty, right? Now the thing is, legally, that's her diploma, right? It's just you can't get it at the graduation. And I'm gonna show you this other video too, and then we'll get into a little conversation. Now this next
humiliate her. I mean, the principal...
That's exactly what it is. Yeah, exactly. Now this next one, just to give you some context, is a young lady grabbing a mic from an announcer at a graduation. And she feels like she didn't, I guess the students were handed the mic when they came up and said their name, allowed to say their major and everything. And she felt like when she and other Black students had come up, the mic was taken away pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
Okay, let's go. You didn't let me get my moment, so I want to say my name is Khadijata Diallo, and I'm graduating today.
I don't want to sound, but I look like you're spitting.
Out of my head, so today is gonna be all about me.
Oh, drops the mic.
Slam the mic. Spiked it.
So Keith said you couldn't hear, but basically what she was saying was, my name is Kadaya Iman, and I was not. You took the mic away from me before I was allowed to finish announcing my name. And since you took that moment away from me, I'm gonna make that today about. Since you took that moment away from me, I'll make it today all about me. And then she slams the mic down on the ground.
Yeah.
Now the first young lady, her name is Hafsir Abdur Rahman. And her situation, like you said, I think that was an embarrassment type of thing. I kind of was like, yo, rules is rules. Like I get where administration's coming from, where they be like, yo, we trying to get out of here. We only got Brooklyn College for about 2 hours before they start trying to bill us more money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yo, we got to get this in and out. Like, we ain't got time for every student name. I mean, Shorty had 3 names alone. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and we got to do this for everybody's name, and they got to do a whole little chair session. We ain't never going to get out of here. So I get why administration makes those rules. But come on, when you go on right now, just type in graduation on any social media, you know what I mean, Instagram, you're going to see people you see all people doing the Griddy. When they get a diploma, like anybody's gonna do their little, you know what I'm saying, little with Bankhead bounce, Harlem Shake, whatever the dances of the moment.
And in fact, she probably did it because it's like, all right, this is like light work. So you know what I'm saying? Like I get to show my joy, but I'm not taking away from the ceremony.
Exactly. Now, what in the case of Kadia Iman, now the Daily Mail, the publication that I had seen it in, but a couple other publications as well felt the need to say that she was a TikToker. What does that mean? You made a TikTok post? What makes you a TikToker? And they said she has an OnlyFans, but I mean, I don't know how it is for females nowadays, but maybe there are a lot of girls out there with OnlyFans. They make it seem like she was clout chasing, like, by saying that. Like you don't have to describe her as that. She's a student.
They reduced her to that.
Yeah, exactly. But then it also makes it seem like you're doing it for views or clicks. Whereas she really probably might have felt disrespected in that moment. Now, I think she handled it all wrong. I'm not condoning what she did, and LaGuardia Community College ain't condoning what she did either. They said they slammed her behavior, and you can't be going like Dennis Rodman under there with no old white lady. Like ain't no way you coming out of that looking good.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But also, I guess she felt disrespected in the moment. So it's 2 students kind of being treated with the same way, but obviously not the same treatment, right? And it just goes to show it's the end of the school year, right? You made it. I get you got to like scare the kids and get them a little nervous, but you ain't got to be holding people's diplomas back when their family showed up. traveled, trying to
Do
catch
it
him
on
video.
stage.
On stage, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Could have pulled her to the side, be like, hey, we told you about that. You know what I mean? Like, now you're gonna have to wait 2 days to you can't leave with it or something like that.
Yeah.
But basically, like, we ain't got to do that. But they humans too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They want to get the win. They be like, I told you.
Yeah.
I can't do the Griddy.
Yeah. And I think that's what it was about. Like, because Griddy ain't nothing but like a, I don't know what to call it, like a Sherman Helmsley. Like if you did a Sherman Helmsley walk, like the George Jefferson walk to get your diploma, it's in effect the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. It really is. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's you got 20 seconds, right? Probably less to make an impression.
Yeah.
And like that's not what you have to do, but if you want to do it, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Like this you earned it. This your time. You know what I'm saying? So now I feel in the case of Kadia, Iman, like yeah, you put a smear on it now. Like you can't, there's no way to come back from that. You know what I'm saying? But it's also not the end of the world. Like nobody can care about this next week.
That's the one who snatched the microphone.
Yeah. That's
okay.
That's Dennis. That's Charles Oakley under there. You know? But in both of them, it's gonna be a memorable experience, and in both of them, it's gonna be an embarrassing, I think, experience. But I think maybe my lesson right now in the Clicker Spotlight story is that administrators, you know what I mean, these students go through a lot, especially if they showed up, did the work, made it to graduation. You ain't got to swing your dick in that moment. Like, we know you principal. We know you got it. Like, let Shorty get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Come on. I can't do it. I really can't. I can't get sturdy. I can't do none of them there. I do it when I'm alone. I tried. I studying John Moran and all that. It's not happening. So the fact that she could pull it off, let her live, let her rock. You know what I'm saying? Because me, Keith, probably the right other three behind her, we just walking up and getting our diploma, getting a little salute at the most. You know what I mean? Like they not throwing up gang signs. I mean, Kadia seemed like she was gonna if she didn't get that mic, but you know what I'm saying? Like they that'd have been
dope if she got overpowered. If Kadia is the second one, right? Yeah. If she got overpowered and the administrator just raised the joint up like the most severed head, like, oh, I see the mic. I better understand what my grip is about.
I wish you could have heard it because she was struggling at the end. Like the white lady kind of gave up.
Yeah.
She was struggling. Hold on, I want to see if I can share this again. But like, and then
I realize how crazy she looked too.
In the moment, right? Yeah. But yeah, there's a moment.
There ain't no telling where that moment would have went.
If you look at, there's a white dude, right? Like over here. Look at him holding his hand out. Like, yo, chill, sister. Chill, sis.
Chill.
That she had to spike it like a football. Nobody getting their name called after this. But nah, shout out to both young ladies, and basically wish y'all the best. Hopefully y'all can move on, and this won't be a smear that follows you anywhere. You know what I mean? But
yeah, it's just a moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, unfortunately, it's both of them's kind of humiliating, especially the first one where the principal tried to play her in that way in front of her family and her friends and all that type of stuff. But
I guess some people could both say the argument was brought on by themselves, but it's like, come on, that's graduation silliness compared to like a bar fight. Like one was fully inappropriate and one was, come on, that's within the realm of graduation hijinks.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
If you want to call it hijinks, like Griddy across the stage, man. If I did mad shit for clicks when I was young, and clicks wasn't even a thing yet. You know what I'm saying?
It's camera clicks.
Yeah, camera clicks. I'm like, somebody gonna get this shit onto this disposable, baby.
They gotta rewind it afterwards.
Watch when they see this shit when they pick it up from Dwayne Reed.
Nah, man, we all done crazy things, but like parents be doing crazy things. Parents be running up, taking pictures in places they're not supposed to be, just blocking other people's view. You know what I'm saying? You ain't about to kick them out. So like, don't get tough with the students. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But, by the way, which is I guess the right wrong thing to do in the moment, because that's exciting when your kid graduates or goes to any kind of ceremony, is being awarded or something. You gotta let people show their emotion within reason, of course, but running up and taking the pictures, I think, is within reason. Much more than that would probably be a problem, but most people don't do much more than that.
What else? There's nothing else. What else could you do? My daughter, lip sync and did a dance at a talent show where you would have thought she was the valedictorian in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? So imagine if she on the stage. I'm like, and she did the Griddy. Come on, man. Don't hate Mr. Belden. But man, when my guy Keith is in the building, you know we got to move on to that segment. It's called Catching Up with Keith. Sing it.
Catching Up with Keith.
We just talk about some things that have been going on in the news past couple of weeks and just see where Keith is at, man. Keith, been some trades in the NBA. Your man Chris Paul being passed around like a groupie. What happened to my guy Chris Paul, man? Said he found out about the trade for Bradley Beal from his son. Found out on his plane on the way to Good Morning America. Like, that's how we doing legends?
Crazy,
how old
man.
is Chris Paul's our age, right?
Nah, I think you're like 43, man. Nah, he about our age. He about 38, probably turning 39 this year.
My man is like, I'm not retiring, bro. I'm keeping this going.
I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving.
State Farm even paying him anymore? Yeah, right. He was in State Farm career. Yeah, he's like, as long as State Farm paying, I'm showing up.
And by the way, a lot of people, he put a lot of people on with that State Farm bread, man. Remember, Steph was on it for a little bit. Yeah. What was his alter ego? It was like Steph and.
I feel like it was Seth Curry, and then Seth Curry became a real person. Like they think Seth was gonna make it to the league or something.
Yeah, Steph in there. James Harden was in there for a hot minute.
Yeah, now they got homie from the Hawks.
Right. There it is, man.
Yeah, now they know what they're doing. James Harden had a nice little run in there too. I forgot about James Harden.
It's actually funny too. It was pretty funny.
State Farm run. Nah, Chris Paul, he leading them to the promised land. But now he ended up with the Warriors, right? They traded him. It was something weird about that trade to begin with. Bradley Beal for Chris Paul. It seemed a little fishy.
Nah, it was Jordan Poole for Chris Paul, and then it was like Chris Paul for Jordan Poole and some other stuff like draft picks and stuff.
No, but I think but he was traded first from the Suns to the Warriors.
Oh yeah, you're right. My bad. Yeah.
For Bradley Beal, but it was but then I think it was something. Is like we're gonna try to find him a contender to bring him to, but Nah, the trade was kind of like a head scratcher to me. Not that Bradley Beal is like a top, you know what I mean? He is a top talent in the league, but not that he's like way below where Chris Paul was or his thing. But it just seemed like, what are they really getting for this? Like, they know they don't want to keep Chris Paul. They didn't get much more for it. And then I did find out, though, that Bradley Beal's agent is the father of the CEO of the Phoenix Suns. So I was like, is this some behind the scenes?
Probably, though. I mean, like for instance, all that clutch sports stuff when they talk about, and they make all these connections and shit like, LeBron is this and the Rich Paul and da da da.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, a lot of business is done through relationships. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of that had a lot to do with it. I mean, look at what's his name? Jalen Brunson in the Knicks. I think his pops is like some top coach on the Knicks or whatever.
On the Knicks, right? Yeah. So not the nepotism obviously exists. Another one was Marcus Smart from Boston. I think they sent him over to Memphis.
Yeah.
Which is he's like the heart and soul of the team. If I'm not like he be getting the, you know what I mean? Definitely a leader off the. I don't even think he starts too, and not even off the bench. So you know what I mean? And he definitely runs that team when the bench is in there. So crazy to see him leave. I think ESPN did some weird shit where they posted about the trade, but then they dyed his hair blue.
Oh, the match with the Grizzlies uniform?
Yeah, because you know how he rocks green?
Yeah.
But then they came to find out, they started getting backlash because the green ain't really for the Celtics. The green was for Marcus Smart's mom. I think she always wanted to see him with green, in green, so he does it as like a memorial. So he was catching a lot of like fan backlash, like, come on, y'all, that wasn't necessary. Y'all be trying too hard, ESPN, like.
Graphic designers be wilding, man.
Be traditional media. Y'all trying to do both. Go be traditional media. But yeah, in other sports news, man, I want to just get your opinion on this. We spoke about this on last episode, but Conor McGregor faced some rape allegations. Was at the game 4 for the Miami Heat. That was the one where he infamously punched out the mascot. And then it came out that video came out of him leading a young lady into a restroom. And later came out that she made allegations of sexual assault.
That night?
That night, yeah. Same night, game
crazy.
4. But then video dropped following that of her being seen with Conor after the alleged sexual assault happened. So I mean, that kind of makes a story lose a little bit of credibility. In certain circles, but I mean, it also doesn't exonerate Connor either. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that necessarily nothing did happen, and we do have video of them going into the bathroom. But it's just like, I think one thing that struck out for me, and I don't know if this is just the PR person on top of it, but I think like Father's Day weekend was the following weekend. My man Connor had his wife fly out, had a whole photo shoot, had his wife rubbing his feet. You know what I mean? Had all his kids in the bed with him. So I mean, that's some stand by your man shit right there. That's it really is. You know what I mean? As many sports athletes as we see face allegations like that and then have to apologize to their wives. You know what I mean? Connor ride or die, I guess. She didn't even wait.
Yeah, I mean, you see like politicians make statements with their wife in the background. I mean, he had his wife, I guess, part of his PR, but it was a little bit different. It wasn't like an apology.
Nah, but it helps.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about it. Yeah,
it helps with the optics. You know what I mean? But yeah, like I said, I just want to update everybody on that because like we at Perfect Talk, we definitely will talk about when allegations come out, and if you get exonerated, I want to give it that same attention. Not that he's been exonerated yet, but also, you know what I mean, whenever there are developments, that we definitely want to give it that same attention too. So
it's a criminal charge?
No, I don't think so. I don't think he's been on any criminal allegations have been made. You guys, I don't know if you're too familiar with Soccer Keep, but you know Lionel Messi, obviously, he's one of the biggest names in the world. He's coming to America, coming over to the MLS, man.
Yeah, that I heard about it. He going to Miami or something like that, right?
Yeah, Inter Miami. So his rival, Ronaldo, so to speak, just signed with the Saudis. Yeah. You know that Saudi money is big money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they just on the low like bought the PGA. Like they was beefing with the PGA and just was like, yeah, all right, come here, let me take that. Shut the fuck
up. That's some baller shit, man. That's some real Saudi money shit.
Not even to go on subject, but see, PGA like, yo, y'all doing business with terrorists. Y'all rocking with them. Y'all can't come rock with the PGA no more. Mad people. Tiger Woods turned out $800 million because they was like, you can't play in both. Tiger Woods turned out $800 million, and now he working for them. That's nutty, bro.
For the same money, shit.
They're like, yo, we'll take that 800.
Yeah, that's what PGA heard. They're like, nah, we don't mess with the Saudis. 800 million.
They was acting like niggas was unpatriotic for messing with them.
Yeah. That's like, a crazy deal though, man. That's I mean, I don't know enough about it to know anything about the ethics. So when I say crazy deal, I just talk about like the money and just the dynamics of it. Like PGA it would be like the Nigerian basketball team buying the NBA, the whole NBA and shit like that.
Like, crazy shit. Yeah. Not, bro. I don't know about their money, but I know I seen when Ronaldo showed up, it looked like the opening ceremony of the Olympics for one dude and his family just to show up. So you know what I'm saying? Like they got the money, but they couldn't get Messi because you know how we do in America. We link up. We corporate. You know what I'm saying? Well, we can't mess with that Saudi money. So you know what we do? We make our own Saudis. Apparently, he linked up with Apple, who's going to be broadcasting MLS games this year. And part of his deal, he gets a piece of that. He also gets every jersey sold in the MLS. He gets, not just his, every jersey sold in the MLS, he gets a piece of it. he gets a piece of the team and an opportunity to buy a team, probably when he retires, like kind of like Beckham, I think, had something similar to that when he first came here. But I thought the fact that that corporations came together to kind of like match up with, we like, yo, we can't beat that Saudi money, but you know what I'm saying? Who else? I think it was Apple and somebody else. Let me see. That had linked up for it, but they definitely were like, yo, we're gonna throw this money together along with Inter Miami and see where we could get it. But and also seeing that ticket prices are through the roof. Right. Like as soon as that hit the news, you know what I'm saying? Like they were like, yo, and then not only for the people that are like, not only for Inter Miami, but also for their competitors for, you know, when he's going on the tour, so to speak, on the away game. So yeah, the fans are expected to pay 4 times as much to see Inter Miami matches. Their ticket sales have increased 28 times since Lionel Messi announcing his move to MLS. So yeah, they're not playing with it, bro. They definitely, you know what I'm saying?
Bread, man.
Nah, they doing their thing. Yeah. Oh, I think Fanatics is part of the deal as well. Yeah, he's killing it, bro. They think that they make all the merch and whatnot. So shout out to
the number one or number two athlete, earning athlete. Is either him or Ronaldo, I think.
Yeah.
And then, the other one would be number two.
Yeah, they were top for definitely in the world. You know what I mean? At a certain point, I guess it's from like team salary is gonna be like 60 million, but there's just so much ownership stake in Inter Miami as well as a signing bonus. So
no, those are baller ass deals, man. That shit is ridiculous.
You got to match up. It's like you got to come correct, bro. You not you can't. It's not no little boy stuff. It's big boy business. You know what I mean? And he gonna point to your man Ronaldo over there and be like, "Yo, y'all paying him that money? What up?" You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's Apple and Adidas are two of the closest partners that came in with it. So they got some money for your guy.
Yeah, when you hear a lot of deals like that where people get a piece of like future earnings, like, oh, I get a piece of ticket sales and I get a piece of this and some ownership. A lot of times, like say in music or whatever it is, it would be just that. Like, nah, I skipped the salary. Let me do this thing. My man got the salary and this stuff, and that's wild.
And he's hella old. He ain't in his primes. You know what I'm saying? He ain't in the primes, but nah, that is this is the example. This is why people get their kids in sports. This is why, like, if I'm not, I don't know much about soccer and all that, but I think after you hear stories about, I think they was pumping Messi full of that HGH because he's so small. As like, but just like signed to like a team at like 13. So like, you know what I'm saying? They sign you right. So they definitely, they put some stuff in that kid. Make sure he got big, but he had the skills to pay the bills, man. Catching up with Keith. Zion Williamson hasn't been making much noise in the NBA the past couple of seasons due to a lot of injuries, but is making a lot of noise the past couple of weeks. Announced that, he's having a baby with a young lady.
To him.
Yeah, shout out to Zion. That's a happy time in your life. For some reason, it brought all the girls out the woodwork that apparently Zion was messing with at this time. You know what I mean? I don't know why they so upset about his girlfriend or his future baby mama announcing like she just doing what she's supposed to do. But for some reason, it made current porn star Mariah Mills, as well as influencer Yami Taylor, just come out and be like, "Yo, you a liar, Zion." I feel like he must have been telling these girls that they was the number one. He had to be making all these girls feel like they was number one, because I can't see why they would all be this upset by him. You know what I mean? I believe the young lady, and don't quote me on this, that he's having a kid with is like a former exotic dancer or is an exotic dancer. The Mariah Mills is a porn star. I don't think I'm familiar with any of her work. She might be one of these new ones.
My man said she's not one of note. I don't know her.
No, she seems famous, definitely. I don't think I've seen any of her work, but she's not a bad looking young lady. You know what I mean? She's doing the thing out here. And Yami Taylor, you know what I mean? I guess it was another lady. Apparently, like 3 women came out, but it's like, yo, Zion, what's going on? When Stephen A. Smith is talking about you and not for your actions on the court, you know what I'm saying? Like, Stephen A. Smith was like, "Oh, all I could think about is you only played 29 games last year and you missed the season before that. And I've been wondering what the hell is taking you so long to get healthy. Well, now I know."
Yo, man. Well, firstly, Stephen A. Smith is just a master with words. Like,
is he?
I don't know that he's thinking about like the algorithms and shit. I just think just naturally he's like, yo, his brain can compute all the words that people love to hear, mix in his opinion in there and say it. That's why he's so good on the radio, man. He would be an amazing conservative radio host.
My man's doing like 4 radio shows a day. He's doing a podcast, he's doing a TV show, he's doing a radio show. He's coming back for NBA Countdown that same night. Like, oh man, it's crazy.
Man. First take, all this stuff. But yeah, man, that's unfortunate for Zion. I think we very much live in a different age because a different era. And I feel as if celebrities had trysts with other celebrities because they could respect each other's privacy. But nowadays, celebrities ain't how celebrities were, back in the day. I don't want to sound like the old dude, but it's like if it were an actress or an R&B singer or something like that, it's like, all right, I got my privacy. You famous too. I know you got your privacy and things stay on the low. But in this case, you said it's two or three celebrities. Right?
Celebrities.
They're famous. They're pretty famous. I know the Mariah Mills is pretty famous, and then what was the other one? You said it was like
she was an influencer, Yami Smith. No, I might be messing her name. Yami, she her last name. Yami Taylor. Excuse me, Yami Taylor.
I don't know. I'm guessing they're famous. I don't know.
I think she's an influencer. Like, I mean, famous nowadays, we can never know who the fuck you are and walk right past you on the street, and then a million people could be following you. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the era that we live in now.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just built different. Like, you're famous with clout, but yet you still chase clout, and that's just kind of the age we live in.
But that makes sense, because if Zion could bounce a ball, Zion has a talent to live off of, right? You know what I mean? Like, if you got famous for people giving a fuck about you, you're gonna want to keep people giving a fuck about you.
And you got people to answer to. You know what I'm saying? He's employed.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's the other part of it. Now Mariah Mills is threatening to drop sex tapes to Zion, and was like tweeting at the NBA about it. I was like, yo, that's bro. You just find a messy chicks to mess with. Like, come on.
Yeah. Well, see, famous or not, man, you just gotta know the content of somebody's character, man. I mean, I know a lot of commentators, like the people that I've heard talk about this issue. You know, in this day and age, you kind of gotta do the disclaimer, like, man, I'm not against people who do sex work. However, you gotta be against people who like who don't hold discretion in as high as a regard as you do. At least you should be when you're on Zion's level. Like, Zion's just not like some ball player. Like, he was the man. Rap lyrics and shit made about. Once you get a rap lyrics said about you multiple times, you're doing pretty good.
You in there.
Ain't nobody saying I'm in the Aston Martin like Caleb Martin. Nobody's saying that shit. But they say, bust up my shoes like Zion, all this type of shit.
Well, it's you know what it is? I think it was society, the memoir culture of, well, back in our day, they wouldn't come out with it until they were already old. You know what I'm saying? Right. So they would write a tell-all, but they would be past the point where anybody would be embarrassed about this type of thing. I'm out of focus. Shout out to everybody watching on YouTube.
But Mariah Mills, her putting out a tape. In fact, if she was to just put it out willy-nilly on social media or whatever thing, that would be stupid. She would probably have to package it somehow, like it was one of them producers, or one of them people who disseminate, and
then probably have to deal with tons of red tape and lawyers and all types of shit. Because
that whole thing is just sad, man. I mean, it's on the one hand, he's a professional, and on the other hand, he's young. I wish that somebody might have peeped him when he was about to do what he's about to do. Like, listen, man, just chill, or just make sure you're extra smart about this.
I feel like people that's famous and a lot less accomplished than Zion Williams have women understand that they're not the only girls in the picture. So for me, maybe that's a confidence thing for Zion, that he had to make these girls feel like that, because maybe he feels like he hasn't lived up to what he thought he would be. Right. And maybe he thinks the whole world sees him as that. Not like to us, he's like, you made it, you're the man. Like, you already did it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, now you just gotta maintain, but maybe he might not feel that way about himself. Because I can't imagine someone of these girls would have still been around. They just, you ain't have to make them feel like, you have to mislead them, make them feel like they would only, if that's what he did, apparently. You know what I mean? They haven't said, but I can't imagine why these girls would be that upset at being side chicks. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless if they knew about it, is what I'm saying. Like, they seem surprised by it.
Man, you think a disclaimer would have made people feel different? I mean, some people just catch feelings. Like, it's like, oh yeah, I got a family on the way, and da-da-da. And people, oh yeah, I understand. But when it actually comes down to it, you see pictures of his family, and everybody smiling,
right?
Dancing all in the videos. Then, like, emotion, like, you can't do nothing about emotions. Your brain says, oh yeah, I'm good with that. That makes sense. All right, we have an agreement. We'll keep it, professional, whatever we doing. But then it comes down to it, and people catch feelings. I mean, they're human beings.
You're right. Yeah, no, they don't. It ain't as black and white as I was making this. And you're right, but it really, he ain't the only one. You know what I'm saying? So somebody out there in the NBA is keeping it on the low. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he need to go take some advice from them, man. But
and by the way, man, I can see a situation in which, at least for the Mariah Mills case, that Zion said, "Oh, she's professional with it. Like, you know, this here is like
It's
this
a
is what
business
she
transaction.
does." Yeah, like it's like this is what you do. It's like I don't know, like if you were dating a baker on the side, it's like, "Oh, I got a cupcake. All right, that's cool, man. She ain't gonna say shit about this cupcake." And that's kind of, you know, why would she make a big deal out of this kind of thing? And apparently, again, she's human. So
yeah, no, that's to your point. You actually make a very good point there. We put people in boxes based on what they do, right? They say, "How do you do? How do you do? What do you do?" You know what I'm saying? So it's like oh, she's a sex worker. She must be a hoe. She has sex on cameras. So how dare she catch feelings for a minute? You know what I'm saying? And we forget that she might have thought he was the one. McKee, man, we gotta get to the big stories, man. We gotta get to the big news in our next segment. It's called "Have You Heard?" I hear the headlines, I bring them to the table, and I know my guy Keith has heard, because he's been the biggest stories. And this first one, you couldn't get away from it, bro. Titan submersible. I went to the gym on Monday. I didn't even know what a submersible was. I don't think anybody knew what that word was, and we have just overheard it too many times. Unfortunately, 5 individuals did pass away. We found this out on Thursday, but all week we were hoping for them to be found, right? The submersible went missing on Sunday. They lost communication about 1 hour and 45 minutes after they went under. Nobody really knew what was going on. It was like, yo, they got 40 hours worth of oxygen. They got 24 hours left of oxygen. It was a countdown. Lo and behold, just to find out, it imploded on Sunday. The Navy heard it. They wasn't really fully sure what they heard. And then it sent out the proper ROVs to the scene to confirm what that was until about Thursday. But did confirm that the sound was consistent with an implosion. So from what I understand, it imploded, right? Blew up from the inside, probably due to the pressure, because they were so far down. They're like 2 miles down.
2.5 miles down. It's, even when you get down like a couple hundred feet, like the pressure is
immense, right?
Yeah, it's immense, yeah.
So like for them to be for them to go down voluntarily, you know, because of whatever their enjoyment was of seeing the Titanic, it's easy for us to be like, when a thrill seeker passes away chasing their thrill, people will be like, well, you should have known better, you know what I mean? But it's like, we take risk every day, right? We get in cars, we get on planes, we get on trains. This was apparently something that they cared about to the point where they were paying $250,000 just to do it, right? Just for the experience. It's just,
people are paying a bunch of money to go to space.
Yeah. One of these individuals was one of those guys. He actually went to space, I think, with Bezos. From what I heard. So that's what rich people do. You got to find new thrills. You got to find different ways to say, I did things other rich people didn't do, and this might have been one of them.
And even if you're not a thrill seeker, I mean, it sounds interesting. Just thinking about it, I could think about, for instance, you go to a trip to Jamaica and you go on one of the excursions, and they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna ride down this crazy ass river, and what we gonna be in? Oh, we're gonna be in this boat here, like this joint with the rust on the side. Hey, yeah, man, it's all good. And you go in and shit. You feel nervous, and then you come back and you're all right.
Yeah.
But what if you happen to be, it's your day, and that's what I couldn't help thinking about. If somebody said, yo, to drum up demand for this thing, you don't got to pay $250, you just got to pay 200, what you said, 250K?
Yeah.
You pay 250, try it out. Maybe we don't go all the way to Titanic, you go close enough where you can see it from a distance. Yeah, I do that. Yeah, it's a 30-minute trip. Okay, I'll consider it. Because you just have a certain level of trust in a company. Like, yo, these dudes build submarines.
Well, yeah. Well, you jumped out of airplanes. You trusted that the parachute that had been used was going to work for you, right? And that's what this submersible went down. From what I'm hearing, probably shouldn't have gone down as many times as it did, and this was probably just wear and tear catching up with it. But we don't know that when we get on roller coasters, anything. We're just trusting that it's gonna work for the person the same way it worked for the person ahead of me. You know what I mean? So,
planes and all that shit, like the roller coaster. We see videos of roller coaster, weird shit happening. Somebody, something weird happens, and they get terrible hit in the head or the seat belt, and they fall from a few dozen feet and all that type of stuff. And still, we have the feeling of, because roller coasters are just so kind of typical, that, oh well, that was them, man. That was unfortunate. Like, man, that was just terrible luck. and then we get on a roller coaster anyway.
In our head, we be like, well, maybe there was something they just ignored or didn't notice.
Yeah.
Right? Like we had a stepson in this one. He wasn't too excited to go, but it was Father's Day. He didn't want to let his pops down.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like it's scary. Me personally, I wouldn't want to get. I'm claustrophobic, so I don't like nothing tight, nothing small where I can't stretch my legs out and walk around. Like that for me is like freaky enough. And then tell me that we going down, and I'm like, nah. I mean, I didn't do the plane either when you went skydiving.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna see y'all from down here.
Well,
so.
you remember that in the group text that the video of the dude who went hang gliding with the guide or the instructor forgot to strap the dude in.
Yeah.
So when they got into flight, they realized, oh shit, he's not strapped in. So my man was just hanging on to the hang glider and holding on to the pants of the instructor who was strapped in.
Yeah.
So like you're like, oh yeah, this is a professional company. They go hang glide. They do it multiple times a day. They've been doing this for years. He has whatever certifications, and you go and that could have been his day. But luckily, he hung on just long enough where they could get to an altitude where he could fall and survive it. He broke some bones, but he survived that whole ordeal. So like that submarine, I could see a world in which I do it. I'll be honest with you, but I think this situation gives you a whole nother respect when you go for some of these thrill-seeking things. Like just maintain your respect for motorcycles or even cars and jet skis and parachutes and all that type of stuff.
Anything. When I worked in the warehouse, that's what they say: respect the equipment. Don't just.
Oh yeah.
You start doing it for years. You think you could just play around, do tricks on it. Now respect it like you did day one. You know what I mean? But two things came out of this story popping, getting so much attention this week. It was number one, social media has no chill. People will make jokes about people whether they know they dead or alive. Like it was and then I think it makes people easier for people to make fun of because just rich people. Because you're like, oh, you pay how much for a ticket? Oh, all right, fuck it. And you ain't got no feelings. Your family don't matter. You know what I mean? And it's like people went ham. I mean, because slow news week. You know what I mean? People make memes. People creative. They gonna do what they gonna do. But it's just like, come on, we gotta bring back a human element to this thing, bro.
The amount of memes was crazy, man. I was surprised at that because usually you get like a couple comedians here and there. So, you know, some of the jokes might be okay, but either way, you don't see a lot. But a lot of people made memes, man. It was crazy the amount of memes I saw today.
And then and then that's when in my head I was like, yo, these people got to count down on oxygen. So that's scary enough. Like for us to be making fun of it is like and I'm not playing holy in that. I made fun of stuff that I probably shouldn't have made fun of in life before. So I'm not. But this one, I was just like you said, surprised at the level of it. And then also the lack of attention that the 700 migrants. There was a boat that was on the Greek coast, if I'm not mistaken, that sunk with 700 migrants aboard. Several people died. Only 104 people were recovered. You know, and they only recovered 82 dead bodies. So you know what I'm saying? We're talking about over 500 people like gone.
Right.
No attention. Like I probably seen a headline, maybe a blurb the day it happened. Nothing else. It was looked like there was an attempt to smuggle humans from Libya to Italy. And hope for a better life, and this is like got not even a fraction of the attention that the Titan submersible got, and it just goes to show you like what do we like? Who's deciding what gets the attention, and two is like is this not a bigger story or is it getting ignored because it's migrants from Libya?
Definitely because it's migrants, man. Because I'll be honest with you, I didn't know the magnitude of that story when I first heard it. It was like, oh, a boat shipped off of the coast of Greece or wherever it was at. And that was about it. It was migrants. Oh, what what's up with this migrant problem? Oh man, it's pretty tough. All right, and then moved on. But this submarine thing captivated the world for how many days the search was going on.
And this shit, they said it wasn't cheap. They said occupants were asked to pay the smugglers $5,000 to $8,000 just to get a spot on the boat. Crazy. So you pay like $8,000 to be on a boat with 699 other people.
Right.
Like, that's nothing. Like the pictures I seen of the boat don't look, you know what I mean? Like it looked like the Titan submersible. Where it is. So like
and the submersible story, like the TV media was wild, man. I saw James Cameron, the director of Titanic, on CNN a bunch of times. Or not just CNN. And I was like, what is this motherfucker, a submariner that I didn't know about? Or did he just happen to direct a movie about the boat these people went to go see?
I think he's been down to the Titanic a couple of times.
Oh, word? Okay.
Yeah, and he has like some type of weird obsession with that's why he made the movie. But even so, like bro was talking about. I seen the article today. It was like James Cameron's like they probably knew it was about to implode. They probably knew that the pressure was getting there, and he's like, I'm like, dude, we don't need their opinion on that, dude. Like, come on,
not that particular opinion where he's not that type of expert, you know.
Yeah, exactly. You setting up a movie script right now. Right. you building suspense right now. Like, the alarms are going off. It started shaking. They had to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, now you just guessing.
Yeah, you know how CNN does, man, and just TV media in general. They have the 24-hour news cycle, so they just need more and more people saying shit, more and even better if the name catches some eyes, like James Cameron.
1000%, man. Keith, have you heard something that I thought CNN wasn't reporting as much, especially as much as Fox News was reporting it? But your guy Hunter Biden, son of President Joe Biden, pled guilty to 2 tax misdemeanors and struck a deal with federal prosecutors to resolve a felony gun charge, where I believe he lied about his use of drugs on a federal form to get a gun.
Crazy.
Obviously, people on the right are like, see, told y'all, criminal Biden crime family. You know what I mean? Like, it's going down. This is proof. But and then there's also people who say that they could have got him on way bigger charges, felonies. You know what I mean? So it looks like he avoided a lot of tax payments for several years that they could have got him on. But is this surprising that the son of a sitting president is going to get a slap on the wrist? I mean, it's surprising that it didn't even reach this point, that he had to, you know, reach a plea deal with him. So it's like,
and somebody with money with lawyers who could, you know, throw some smoke at the prosecutors, so the prosecutors say, all right, plea out to this thing. If you go to trial, we shaking you down, bro.
Yeah.
He said, all right, I'll plead to it. You know what
saying?
I'm
But it, one, like I said, I didn't think it got a lot of media attention. Number 2, I don't know if me and you didn't pay taxes in 2015, 16, 17, 18, and 19, if we'd be getting slaps on the wrist. Highly doubt that we would. But give it the same attention. You know what I mean? The week before when Trump was indicted, I couldn't get away from that story. You know what I'm saying? I had to look.
I mean, but it's not the same thing though. Like,
oh no, not at all.
Yeah.
Not 100%, not at all. But don't ignore, like, because one thing about the Hunter Biden thing that I don't even know if it's as mainstream as it is. But when Hunter Biden's laptop got bagged, that shit brought out a lot of flaws, I guess, in social media. So, for instance, Twitter, when the New York Post was running that story, Twitter banned that story, and it's like,
oh wow, that's crazy.
Well, I guess they felt like they didn't. Maybe they said that they didn't have enough evidence to back it up. The story ended up being true. The laptop was at a repair shop. That was Hunter Biden's laptop. The you know what I mean? The feds matched up the laptop with the Apple ID, so they knew it was, and they knew by shutting down the story, they possibly was shutting down a true story. But it was like, what was going on at that time? You know what I mean? Like, where was the media at? Were they shutting down right-wing stories that were like anti-vax, that were pro-Trump, that were this and that, and where they, you know what I mean? So it was like, it pointed out a hypocrisy to me, where I guess I was still under that illusion where they're just media reports the news. It ain't like this channel's reporting more of this stories for that side, and this one wants to point out stories for the Republican side. It's like, just report the news. I think, you know what I mean? Like, before Trump, I ain't really know CNN had a side, to be honest with you. And I still don't really understand why they do. You know what I mean? Maybe that is because of who owns it, or whatever the case may be. Maybe because they hire, I guess, individuals who are in the LGBTQ community, and with the conservative side,
liberal.
Exactly. With the conservative side being so against that, maybe they feel like they got to pick a side. But I'm just like, there's kind of a way to be in the middle here. Like, I personally am a dude who's pro-choice, right? I don't necessarily want my daughter playing against transgenders. Like, I'm able to play both sides of that. I don't have to like choose a side though. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't got to be a monolith, right?
Have you seen a TV station that's in the middle?
No, not at all.
I don't think I don't think you can do it nowadays.
Not on television, but I do see media on YouTube that kind of be more like centrist, I think is the term, where they like, yeah, a little of this, but some of that shit's ridiculous. A little of that, but some of that shit's ridiculous. You know what I mean? We're not the people on the extremes, obviously, but yeah, we are also smart enough to say, hey, we like people on this side, but we could agree with some of the other people on that side. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it ain't got to be like, yo, just because I don't bang with 100%, that means I'm against the gang. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm rocking with the ops. Like that's not. I'm a human being that's allowed to want a little from column A and a little from column B. But to your point, I don't see television stations doing that because I'm assuming who owns it has some type of political interest or who they're getting money from and who they in bed with. You know what I mean? So
I would say that to cover Trump is very difficult to appear in the middle because he'll say, "Oh, well, look at them. They're being unfair." But for a president or former president or a sitting president to be under criminal investigation, like a legit criminal investigation, I think he did a crime. But because he's a president, we got to do all the oversight and make sure we, do our due diligence and all this type of stuff. Like he was in legit legal jeopardy, right? Yeah. So I think that just naturally that kind of story is just gonna attract a lot of eyes, and eyes is what what these folks make money for.
Yeah. And he's so. It never had before as a former president been indicted on a federal indictment. You know what I mean? Like that's not something that ever happened. So it is history making. It's weird.
I say he put them in he put every news thing in a weird position. Fox was able to profit off of it, but MSNBC is clearly liberal. But like let's say a CNN who tried their best to appear down the middle, put them in a different position when he attacks the whole media and say, "Oh, look at CNN," because CNN did as much for him as they. CNN did as much for him as he did for CNN in the sense that he said, "Oh, look at CNN, like they're wilding and they're this and they're that," and CNN kind of has to do a thing where it makes them seem like they're against him.
Yeah,
opinion. Yeah, they may have a liberal lean to them just because it's mainstream media and it tends to be on a more liberal side, but CNN never appeared as liberal as they do now because now you're comparing it against
the extreme
Trump. Yeah, exactly. So putting that contrast up, like you don't realize your white shirt is dirty until you wear it against some, you put it against something that's actually white. Exactly. Yeah. So now you take CNN where it might have been slightly liberal, but now Trump is like, yeah, those some mark ass bitches, and CNN's like, well, and then calling out you have to call out the lies. That he put immense pressure on the media.
But now it's funny that they look so on the sides of the extreme that CNN did the town hall with Trump, right? And they had to bring like Trump supporters in there to make it seem like, yo, we're not attacking you. Like it's all, I mean, you're not walking into a setup. And now Fox had the interview with him, and your man was hitting them with the hardball questions. Like, yo, my man sat there and listed everybody Trump's ever called stupid, and we're like, you picked all these people to be in your cabinet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Trump's like, I didn't show up for this. Hold on, dog. Which I don't walk me into. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but they gotta come back from so far on the extremes. We're like, yo, we are a news station. You could do your town hall here, and yo, we are a news station. We ain't giving you softball for you to just sit here and make up lies in front of us. We're gonna call you out of your shit too. So,
but however, at the CNN town hall you're talking about, I think her name was Caitlin Collins. Like she was shutting him down on when he was saying stuff that was kind of far from the truth.
Yeah,
but her keep on doing that makes it appear like, oh, well, she's anti-Trump, but it's like, what are you supposed to do? Because they tried the whole thing of, all right, if he lies, just let him rock a little bit. But then it's like, yo, what am I listening to? What kind of information are you disseminating out to the public?
Also, the news, the way that it's consumed nowadays by the average human, they're getting in clips. You let him go on for 2.5 minutes, say something. They're not waiting for you to say the truth. They just listen to that 2-minute clip, and it's like,
exactly.
All right, come on, show me a cat falling off a counter or something like that.
Exactly.
Show me something funny, TikTok. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you let him go on for too long. That's just as long. That's just as powerful as giving him a 2-hour speech.
Right.
Because it's gonna hit as many people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But your man Hunter. You know what I mean? Definitely. He dodged the bullet. You know what I'm saying? Stay out of trouble.
Big time.
Seems like a funny guy. Seems like
he's probably man fun to hang out with, man.
The Post had him butt naked holding his gun on the fucking cover. The Post is wild, bro.
Hunter Post is wild. Hunter Biden, man.
Well, Hunter Biden, he's always naked. He just
wow, boy, man. In the photographs with crack, and I don't know if the girls in the footage were friends of his or
prostitutes?
paid?
Yeah,
they're prostitutes.
Prostitutes.
Oh, that's confirmed. Yeah, man.
I'm assuming, but they said it gives off that the vibe of him and the vibe of them. It gives off the prostitute vibe. Yeah,
that shit is like if somebody like somebody was fresh out the joint 30 years and they be like, oh snap, that's the president's son. This Reagan's son. Oh, nigga, this is today's president. This ain't the 80s.
Coming down the water slide naked. Like what's
crack.
Yo, Keith, have you heard, man? I think we're about a year, right, since Roe v. Wade was overturned, bro. Nothing's changed. I think we're still in the same place where we were. You know what I mean? The states that say they aren't doing the states that are with it are still with it. I think the only thing that puts us in a really scary place, or we have an 80-something-year-old Democrat running against a bunch of people who are anti-abortion, which could lead for a scary America for women in this country. It's
meaning that like Joe Biden might ban abortion on
no, meaning Joe Biden might die and somebody else might come into office and be like, yo, we done with this abortion stuff. Because I don't know how high Joe Biden's chances are in the next election. I mean, he can't arrest them all. You know what I'm saying? Like they ain't Pokemon. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he gonna have to go up against somebody. And I don't know how great his chances are, but not all, I won't say all, but a good number of these Republican candidates are coming out with a anti-abortion stuff because it is the 1-year anniversary. So now they get something to talk about. But they don't seem like they feel like letting up. Like I think DeSantis passing like heartbeat bill in Florida. Like as soon as you got a heartbeat, that's they alive. You know what I mean? And they don't seem like they about to lighten up with none of that. You know what I mean? So it puts things in a really weird place. But it's crazy that it's been a year. You know what I mean? And just how like the media moves on from things so fast. Yeah, like, it was the biggest story a year ago, and shit just has to move on. It's a 24-hour news cycle, like you said.
I think it'll come back though, because we get hitting political season in 2023 now. Once Q4 hits, man. Once we get into October, November, you hear debates, and then Joe Biden probably and his super PACs or whoever probably gonna start putting out ads, and not to mention all the other races, senators and Congress people and all this type of stuff. It's gonna be all about Roe v. Wade.
Well, abortion played a big part in the midterms, they think, right? A lot of the people that they feel Trump was a big part of it too, but people that showed us support to like those type of bills, they pay for it. You know what I mean? In the midterm. So yeah, we're gonna see where it pans out. But you know what I mean? Like I'll continue support for women in this country, to fight for their rights and anything that we can do here to shine a light on it, you know what I mean? We definitely will, and I'll continue support to y'all, man. But Keith, before we get up out of here, man, have you heard your boy Jonathan Majors showed up to court with the lovely young Megan Good? Well, I guess not young, but the lovely Megan Good on his arm.
Damn, Don Lemon.
I'm not saying no, she's not young. She's a baddie. Don't get it twisted. I'm still loving Megan Good. Remember the 50 Cent video? She still got it, dog.
Yeah, she was an icon back in them days. Pretty crazy.
Majors, I don't know. I think he is a Marvel character though sometimes, because just look at the walkthrough that they had. Marvel star Jonathan Majors riding the court, holding hands with girlfriend Megan Good. Also, the courtroom, Good had her arm around him and stroked his head. Why they gotta walk through like they mafia? Like she got the big sunglasses on, like Jackie O. You know what I mean? Like they on it, bro. Like
their relationship must be deep, man. I didn't realize. I heard they were dating, but I didn't. That's a pretty big move to walk. Even a married couple, like they'll be like, should I walk with him? Like they walk like that's support, bro. Like
now the dude from the '70s show, Danny Masterson. I think he's married to shoot, I forgot her name, but he's married to like a model or something like that. And even she like, I don't know if I can keep showing up to court with this nigga. Like it ain't looking great for him. You know what I'm saying? They married. Yeah. So Megan Good definitely, you know what I'm saying? She rolling the dice. But she showing support. I can't front. That's a great look. Like your current girlfriend
for Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, 100%. Oh yeah, Jonathan Majors. Your girlfriend showing up. It looks like, I mean, hey, I guess you can't be that bad to women. You know what I mean? It just gives off that image, right? It just
I mean, I, that's probably the whole point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. His lawyer's like, hell yeah, bring her. Hell yeah. We gonna set it up so y'all can have a purple.
I wonder what the conversation was like, because I mean, when from his perspective, the level of legal jeopardy that he's in, I'm sure there's a huge sense of urgency where he's like, Meg, we've been together for 2 months. If you want to call together, but right now we need to be together. You dig what I'm saying? Please. Or was it one of the joints where it's like, listen, I'm in this trouble, you don't gotta come in, and she was like, nah, I got you. If that was the case, man, that's a virtuous heart, man.
Shout out to Megan Good, man.
From Megan Good, that is.
Word up. Shout out to Megan Good, man. Yeah, no, the thing about it is, even if he beats this, I think the damage is already done, right? Like, in terms of like his act, like I think either way he's gonna act again, right?
Yeah,
no matter what, he's gonna act again.
But he's not gonna hit the levels that he was on his way to.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
Marvel
is saying.
It's a wrap on Marvel. He ain't no more superheroes unless it's on Tubi or some shit.
And it really sucks if this isn't true. You know what I'm saying? That really does suck. Like the same thing with the Conor McGregor situation. Like if Shorty's just doing it to get a bag, it's like, come on, like there are some real victims out there. Y'all making it bad. Now, if these individuals are guilty, you know what I mean? Y'all deserve what y'all get. You deserve to fall from grace. But it's like I said, I don't think either way Jonathan Majors is gonna be on that rise, meteoric rise. But it goes to show you something like you said earlier. Know the people you're around, Zion. Know the, you know what I mean? Because it only takes you being around the wrong person for shit to go left.
Yeah.
You know,
if he's acquitted, right, or anybody's acquitted, I think, or I wonder the amount of faith that the public has lost in the legal system after Bill Cosby.
In what way? You mean because Bill Cosby got released?
Yeah, exactly.
On a loophole, kind of.
Yeah, well, I think that because we talk about, well, they were tried and they were acquitted, or they weren't proven guilty.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be like, okay, all right, fine, I could take that. But after Bill Cosby, where you feel pretty sure that he did it, I don't know anyone except like Cockroach and Rudy who think that he ain't do it.
Oh, have they come out in support of him?
I think Rudy did.
Oh, Cockroach. No.
Not Cockroach.
Okay, all right. Come on, Cole. Come on, Cole.
I think probably from that Cosby
show. But Rudy was
joint,
so young, it's easy to like, you don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like,
figure.
yeah, exactly. So I could actually see that being believable. And then I think Bill just caught new charges because of the statute of limitations stuff that shade. I believe in Arizona or Nevada. I could be mixed up.
Oh wow, I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, nine new women came out.
Wow.
Yeah, Bill's a wild boy, bro. I never watched that documentary, but I do want to check it out. I remember you telling me about it on here. We don't talk about Cosby.
Yeah.
We need to talk. I'm mixing it up. We don't talk about Bruno. Content got me again.
Kids,
you don't talk
with your
about
brain.
Cosby.
Yeah, man. That Jonathan Major shit is crazy. The time of it was just wild, bro. Like it's just as far as
Creed 3 was like still in theaters. Cameron just got finished dissing him.
Yo, that shit, I don't know, man. All that shit blows my mind. I saw, and like for the Ant-Man and then Creed 3, it's hard to show the trailers without showing, like it's impossible.
It's a big part in both, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just fascinating how that's handled. I even saw, I think Amazon has Creed 3, and one of the images was like him, swinging or whatever, or fucking.
Oh, were they using him in the ads?
It wasn't an ad per se. It was most like the movie theater poster, but like on a Prime Video.
Got you.
Yeah.
But they didn't edit him out of it, so they
didn't edit him out of it. That's right. But on Ant-Man, I saw they showed him real quick because he's a villain. I guess in a superhero movie, that's everything. Like, you can't just have a hero and just not have a villain.
They're like showing him from the side and shit.
Yeah, it was like some quick shit, like hey nigga, and then it was just like, oh, back to Ant-Man and his daughter.
Nah, man, like Jonathan Majors, everybody, like we said earlier, you're innocent to proven guilty here on Perfect Talk, and I definitely will try to make sure we give y'all the same attention if you are exonerated of anything you're facing. But Keith, that's another episode in the books, my brother. Where can my people find you at on social media?
Instagram, ema_35.
Dope. You can find your guy DJ Playboy on Twitter at DJ Playboy. Find me on Instagram at PLICCAPEEZY, PLICCAPEEZY. Follow Perfect Talk on Instagram at Perfect Talk Radio. And check out the website, www.perfecttalkpodcast.com, for every episode of the Perfect Talk Podcast. The radio show, Money Talks Radio, I do with my brother DJ Show. The Night Shift, my First and 15 mixes that I do with Ayo Niche. my motivational moments, my new releases that we dropping every week. So we staying busy there on the website. So go check out www.perfecttalkpodcast.com. Every episode of Perfect Talk Podcast is also available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spotify, many other places too. We're gonna try to get them up there. And go check us out on YouTube. Please subscribe. Please hit your notifications. Please hit the like button. Leave a comment. You know, we rocking for all y'all out there. And we're gonna keep doing the damn thing. Keith, I haven't asked you this question in a long time, my brother. What are you watching nowadays, man?
This is a show on Apple TV called Silo.
Okay.
Solid show, but they did the wild bait and switch because on like the poster and the previews and shit like that before I started watching it, it was they got this dude, I think his name is David. I'm gonna fuck his last name up, but he played Martin. He played one of the Martin Luther Kings.
Okay.
What might he have done? Anyway, like David Alawello or some shit.
Oh, with the African last name. Yeah, he was in Selma, no?
Selma, yeah,
okay.
Exactly. So he was in Selma. So it was him. It seems like he had the starring role, and Rashida Jones.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm all in. Say no more. I don't
drama?
Need to... it's a drama, yeah.
Okay.
It's like a dystopian drama. Like it's like a world where the population has to live in a silo, like in just one giant silo, and they can't be exposed to the atmosphere.
Okay. Now how they bait and switch you though?
Well, the shit starring David Alawello. My bad, man. Just edit this shit. Just voice that shit over. Be like David Alawello. And Rashida Jones, right? But they only in the first episode or first two episodes, and then that's it. Then it literally stars another person after that. It's the bait and switch is wild, but the crazy thing is it's a double bait and switch because it's like any show that I do some shit must be whack, but it's actually good. Common in that bitch too. I was like David Alawello, Rashida Jones, Common, Andy Dufresne from fucking Shawshank Redemption. I'm like, yo, this shit is stacked, bro. This is a super team. And then the top two on the team ain't there, man. Imagine going to a game, the whole load management shit. They load manage these motherfuckers. You went to the game, LeBron
they on the
and
bench,
D-Wade
right? I see him right there.
I see them right there. They on the poster, but they not in the show past an episode and a half.
Okay. Gotta check that out. It's Apple TV, you said?
Apple TV. Dope show though, but that shit is deceptive as fuck.
I've been watching the weekend show on HBO, The Idol.
Is it good?
It's weird.
Yeah, I didn't trust it, man. I want to hear at least 3 endorsements from someone.
It's honest. I think if you're a fan of The Weeknd, he's a big part of it. He's acting in it. So
not big enough.
Yeah. Well, he's. I don't think he's not the main character. It's about the pop star. A young Johnny Depp's daughter actually is the main character. But The Weeknd has a big part. Now, so I think if you're a fan of The Weeknd, it kind of is along that same mystery of The Weeknd's music persona. Like I personally I like his music. I haven't seen that many interviews of The Weeknd. Like I don't know the person Abel, you know what I'm saying? So it kind of leads along that same lines of like it's a mysterious show. Like you kind of like, where's the show going? Like what's happening here? Like it's kind of moves slow. Like they have some really long scenes. Some of the scenes like 15 minutes long, but it's not bad. I just need it to go somewhere. Like I remember how you felt with Swarm, I think, when you were talking about it on here. Like it's like I'm in too deep. Whack.
I couldn't believe it.
But you finished it, right? I remember you saying,
hell no. I tried.
You gave up?
I probably said, I might go back and finish it anyway. I couldn't because I probably I started that show like, nah, man, I can't even do that. And I finished some whack-ass shows. I couldn't waste no time.
You got 2 kids now. You got 2 kids. You got your time is valuable.
Man, if I had no kids, bro, the shit, no kids, no wife, single, no job, I still wouldn't watch it, bro. The rest of it is so whack. And the crazy thing about it is that, Donald Glover and his someone else like has something to do with it. So I was like, all right, Donald Glover, I watched the first season of Atlanta. I'm gonna watch this shit. Nah, man. And by the way, Atlanta, super weird in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, I remember you saying that many times on the show. Yeah. Would you we seen the Zendaya preview this week, Challengers. Did you watch it? The preview for that movie?
I watched the preview.
Yeah.
Looks good, not for me though. It's like
looks weird. Definitely Zendaya's on her grow up shit.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, that's a fast track to growing up, though, man. Just
sex scene in a wild sex scene in a movie. That's what you. That's how you do.
It looks like a coming of age relationship thing. Like I had a relationship with this person, and then fast forward a few years, and this is what the relationship looks like. But it's a relationship with two people. A romantic relationship with two people, and I think the two guys are best friends.
It looks like it, yeah, from the story. I can't get it, but that's what they were going with. And then it's got the racial thing. If she's black, they're white.
Yeah,
they use tennis as a backdrop. So yeah, it looks interesting. It definitely is. It looks like a good watch.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm skeptical. Again, that's gonna take about 4 or 5 of my homies to be like, yo, man, you need to go see Zendaya joint.
Time is limited, bro. Like that's why I love people that rock out with us on Perfect Talk, because I'm like, y'all could be doing anything else right now. You know what I'm saying? There's so much shit being thrown at you right now. So the fact that y'all fuck with us, we definitely appreciate it, and we got major love for you. And that's another episode in the books, Keith. What do we learn on this episode, man? Stay out of trouble. Don't be like, come on, don't lie to these girls. Don't Zion Williams it. You know,
allegedly.
Allegedly.
My stance is that I don't think he lied. I just think that, you know,
they're
not professional. Yeah,
they're not professional. These pros ain't professional, man.
I don't mean professional like sex worker professional. I'm just talking about like
in general, yeah, your business.
Yeah, like if you have a tryst. In my eyes, two entertainers dating is kind of like co-workers dating. And a lot of them handle well. I mean, look at Pete Davidson. Everyone looks at him as this wild guy, but he's always been super professional about like his relationships.
You're right. Yeah, he ain't out there trying to like he only talked about Ariana Grande because she talked about him. He said that in the comedy special. Yeah. Nah, it's these pros ain't loyal, man. You can't. You know what I mean? These basketball teams ain't loyal either. You know what I'm saying? Teachers administration don't be too hard on these kids at these graduations. Let them enjoy the end of the year. Get the bag like Messi and minimize your risk. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to be a thrill seeker, but you got kids, you got a wife, you got people who live for it. These people want you here. Don't necessarily hop up in the submersible. You know what I mean? The next one going down.
Think about it. Take a nice safe stroll in Home Depot or
you might see some baddies at Home Depot. You know how I go. You seen this on the internet lately?
Yeah, you saw him.
You seen him. Yo, Keith, say goodbye to the people, man.
Peace.
Peace.